This is Citizen Sleeper. From what I've seen of this game, it is essentially a tabletop style RPG um, in a cyberpunk type setting, but in space. So, I guess from what I've seen and understand, the best way I could describe it is Cyberpunk 2077 done in its original tabletop style. Uh, so, yeah, let's get it going. Sleeper 2, yeah. Sleeper. This game came out like a year or so ago, and they're already so good that they're doing a part two already. Wait. Let's see. Alright. So, we have extractor, operator, extractor, machinist. Let's see. So, a machinist repairs and modifies automated system used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. They got perks too. Efficient extractor, chance to gain random scrap item on engineer actions. Zero interface, intuitiveness, approach problems with awareness. -1 on approach problems head on. Operator works with drones and high precision remote machines to perform complex tasks and from a distance. Assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Chance to gain cryo and on interface actions. Assuming cryo is the currency, yes. That's gonna, yeah, from these, yeah. Alright. Skills. You got interface, obviously, because you're an operator. Strength and will is low. Okay. Extractor work on resource extraction in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have high level of endurance. So it's +1 on endurance. Yes. Approach problems with awareness is -1. Approach problems head on, engineered zeros. But sunbathe dice action allows energy recovery at home. Operator or machinist. Where's my dice at? I don't have. Oh wait. I got my dice right here. I got my dice right here. Alright. My deck box and my dice. Alright. So, machinist is evens, operators is odds. Machinist it is. Let's go. First thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect, the delay between thinking and feeling. Man, that is loud. Bring the music to 2. Let's put that at music. Put the music at 3. Let's put everything. Yeah, alright. Alright. The delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting, minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when you yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be a body that was indisputably yours. Well, if I don't have that body anymore, and now apparently I'm in a new one, let me focus on my new body. You resist nostalgia. It's pointless. Not really. But especially now, this is the moment to reach out, not curl inwards. This is your moment of escape, even if it feels immediately like you traded one prison for another. Smaller, colder, lifeless. Reach out. You almost laugh, or you would, if there was room, or even air to do so. The walls of the container are immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain, at least. An emergency mode pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the others. What's the plan? Or remember the others? Remember the plan. You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan. but then your options were limited. And once you got the itch to get out, by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away in the chaos, slip into a cargo processing, seal yourselves into containers, then just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers. But the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on the grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach any destination. Now, do we wait for the cold or do we try to rest? If we feel like we know that it left, if it feels like we left already, after all that, I feel like resting might be a good idea. Because if you sit and wait for the cold, you're not doing much. It's almost like you're sitting there waiting to die. At least, like, if you rest, like you're taking care of yourself in that manner. But you are restless. It has been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You are duly aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is some time. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Where are you? Unknown. Rest. Time passes, the cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth, not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound, too, everywhere. Screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then, light, white as the cold. Softer and softer until in a haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. You're out. Okay, so scroll wheel lets us scroll up and down the station. So scroll wheel. Okay, scroll wheels for that. Data. Cryo. Cryptocurrency. Hey. Stored in the air-walled sticks of memory known as chits. So we got cryptocurrency on thumb drives. Cool. Data, no data. Dragos, a pragmatic and private salvager. been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curved element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. Yes, so Sleeper, you all thawed yet? Stay silent. Never seen one of you and come in like this. New frames must have better New frames must have better perseverance in a sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates. Or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in a makeshift tent. His headset, with his glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator on his shoulder. One of his symbiotically linked drones perches its piercing eye, locking you with an unflinching stare. Last sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression, the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. But you aren't sure if he hears you. I won't ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now. And you're just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. You're not alone. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells. The promise of a life off-world, but as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer the person. You are an offshoot. A copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. Innocent ARP wants to protect their property. But if they can't keep hold of you, well, there's no one can. Oh, well then no one can. You remember that too. Or at least rumors of it. From the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence. A built-in dependence on the regular administrative supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them, and your body begins to shut down. Separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? Well, but for now, Sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos independently shifts his weight. Look, I got things to be getting on with. He trails off. There's an old freighter container that I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We've been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion, fatigue. You shakily get on your feet. Nod. Alright, you head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Drago stalks back into the wrecks, his drones already converging on a rusting hull. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spiny figure as he returns to work. Tutorial Introduction. Welcome to Erlen's Eye. The life on the eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. Select locations by clicking on the icon. So cycles are going to be the days. As days go by, it's a cycle. We talk to characters, explore areas, blah blah blah. Okay. Go home to rest. Okay. Let's see. View character. Upgrade points. So to upgrade. Okay, so we got +1 there. So if we're at -1, we need +1 to get to 0. So technically, this needs 2. Dice actions display potential positive and negative outcomes. That's going to be handy. Sunbathe dice action allows energy to recover at home. Chance to gain cryo on interface actions. Random scrap on engineer actions, so we can get scrap and cryo on. So you get cryo on interface actions, scrap on engineer actions. So these two are going to be really going to be needed. We already got that, so we need 1 and 2 the most at the moment. Transfer, intercept, and predictive reasoning. This could pay off later, I guess. I already have our 3 points. Interesting to see. Agent nodes give double data rewards. Scrap components at home to use scrap components at home to repair condition. Keep 2 dice even when condition is breaking. Reroll all your dice once per cycle. Interesting. Now I wonder if that's if you can use if you get a 1, 2, 6, 5, 4 or something. You use the 6 and the 5. Can I re-roll that I want to find out. That'd be interesting. Probably not. You probably have to re-roll all of them. Alright, so let's go. I feel like that's still kind of loud, not gonna lie. All cycles are ended here. End the cycle. Right back. wake up curled in the corner of the container, and you begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake up in now, strange and disjointed. Its messages readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mailer blanket close against the cool. Is it mailer or mylar? Mylar? Mailer. No, there's no A. So mylar? Mylar. I'm gonna go with mylar. Here you are, in this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, excuse me, what matters? Escape, getting answers, building a life. Do I really want answers? Like, do we need the answers, or do we just like want to like build a life and just move on with where we are now? Escape? Like, I mean, no, we still, I mean, we escaped already. Like, we got away, obviously. Like, got picked up, taken out of the trash, right? Or are we trying to escape like all of this and have like the ultimate freedom? Huh? I mean, getting answers would be nice. Getting answers as far as like, is everybody alive as well? Like, how many of us like actually escaped, or how many died? Like, who's where? Hey, oh, this whole thing's moving with the mouse. I mean, you want to build a life too, but huh? Let's get some answers. It all matters. The past is impossible to escape if it remains a blur. What Essen Arp did to you cannot be forgotten. You need a way of understanding all this before you can move on. Where are you? What is this place? What happened to the others? The questions outnumber the answers. You want to change that, but you'll have to learn to survive first. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. The mailer blanket. I almost said Myler again. Myler. Oh, no, I said Mailer. Ha! Jeez, goodness gracious. The Myler blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets, of some discontented powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. Contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, the skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like the angular suns, burning into your mind. There is something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you finish drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Dice roll. Nice. That's a good dice roll. That 2 is there. The 4, 5, and 6, yeah. Condition. Tutorial. Condition, action dice, and energy. 1. Condition. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by 1 segment each cycle. It depletes by 1 segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition. Now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. So I'm assuming sleep and food are going to be the two main ways of doing your condition. Probably going to rely on food a little bit more than sleep. Two, action dice. At the start of each cycle, you'll roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions in the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. So your condition affects how many dice you have, which affects how many actions you can take during the day. But your resting, I'm assuming, is going to help your condition. I feel like this can get like pretty complicated, or like not so much complicated, but like a real like juggling act here, because like these both like directly affect each other. I'm assuming because of this, when you go to sleep, it's gonna affect your condition. So like these two like balancing act. 3. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. Well, like so much for the eating to help your condition. Hopefully that helps your condition also. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments a cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. Oh my goodness. Alright. So we got to keep our energy up by eating so that our condition doesn't worsen. We also need to be careful of violence and injury so our condition doesn't drop. So we need to eat to keep energy up so our condition doesn't drop. Well, so we're not starving, because if we starve, our condition drops. If our condition drops, we lose dice. If we lose dice, we lose actions. So we need to rest in order to keep our condition up. Keep our condition up. Keep our energy up. Alright. So leave here. Dragos is standing in the corridor when you close up the container. He's still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it's an implant. It is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensors eyes rapidly irising. How you feeling? The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Look, I'll be honest with you, Sleeper. I didn't pull you out of the container out of the goodness of my heart, as he looks away. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old holes down, sell them off to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally, we'll pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what comes up is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper, you'll be used as the manual labor. And obviously, I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can. And sleepers, well, he trails off. But things being the way that they are, for me at the yard, he pauses. I need help. Why? Things are a little tight, that's all. I owe a little cryo to a client here or there. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do, bosso. Thanks, Dragos. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Alright. Dragos Yard's up. We're just going to Dragos Yard. Pay toll. Low end toll. Spacers cause some trouble in the lower end. Yet, yet again have imposed toll. No one gets in without paying. 60 cryo. Down here? Oh, okay. Tutorial actions, one of two. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. Oh man, allergies are kicking my butt. To perform an action, click and drag your chosen action dice to the slot. So you go from here, boop, drop it right in there. Alright. Hole dissection. Even the rustiest hole can hide valuable components and materials. Extracting them means cutting carefully and skillfully. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy, condition, or items, depending on their outcome. There are three types of outcome. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Negative, the action fails. Repeatable action, manual, salvage. It's going to take some time to sort and cut your way through the towers of salvage, but you are no stranger to hard labor. Action dice affect outcomes as follows: 6, 100% chance; 5, 50% chance; 50% chance neutral; 3 and 2, 25 positive; 50 neutral, 25 negative; 1 and 2 dice are 50-50. 50 neutral, 50 negative. So if it's negative, I assume that we lose condition. Let's find out. Action displays information about the type, risk level, and the skill and modifiers that apply to each action. Hole dissection. Even the rest of... Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. Okay. Either safe, risky, or danger. Risky, okay. Negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. Okay, as I thought so. Negative outcome means condition loss. Neutral outcome can mean cryo or energy loss. If danger. Okay. So rather have yellow. Try and use 5 and 6s on danger. 3 and 4 is not so bad on risky. Alright. Skill, action required, engineering phase, into either -1, 0, 1, 2. This is added to the action dice when slotted and improves its value. Some extras required. Okay, so if I put like a 2 dice, it becomes a 3 dice, or a 3 dice, or 4 becomes a 5, that kind of thing. Dead called in. Drago's just tied up in something ugly, and if he misses a payment or two, things could get nasty. +1, even the either way, it's gonna come out. Yeah, here we go. Action off or often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Drago's death, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. Let's try 2 on this one. Drives and navigation. Oh, in Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself in the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives, depending on which path you wish to take. You will track drives, and any tracked drive will place a yellow marker on locations that will help you pursue your goal. The little dot on it, okay. Access your drive menu via the arrow on the top screen. Alright. Doctors. You are now free to explore Erlen's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking your drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Okay, so food does both. Called it. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end the cycle at home when you are out of dice. We got 5 cryo for that. Find a doctor. You need access to corporate pharmaceuticals, otherwise this escape attempt will come to a rapid end. Let's see if we can use. Oh, we can. Okay. Oh, dang. WSAD moves faster than the scroll wheel. Home materials. As a newcomer, you can only gain favor by grabbing loads of materials and asking leaders. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. If you get a ship builder to notice them, you might be in. Doxy 4. As for why wander when there are hundreds of people who might live? To encourage them, smoke sounds buzzing bright. The bright market is the busiest part of the eye's lower rim. You can find anything and everything here. That's the lower market. Let's see what's up with the dot. It takes several cycles to reach the starboard belt. Same thing. What? Sorry. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the Hylian system are rare, but those that do always return eventually. +2 on the shipyard hand, +5 cryo. Oh. Okay. I get it. Okay, I messed up. I should have put the. Oh, okay, because I have my -1 engage as a stat. Gotcha. Okay. Alright. Where we at? We have 0 upgrade points still. Add a dice. Let's. Memphis is busy. His broad face lit up by the makeshift gas burners in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables and some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad of depositing it in plastic trays. A sack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Watch. Despite the queue, Memphis doesn't rush. He dresses each portion individually, squeezing precise slugs of liquid from an assortment of bottles into the bowl, torn leaves in their bright slices before tossing them loosely together. Occasionally, a waiting customer might mutter something about efficiency, but Memphis remains steady in his process. After a while, the queue fades back into the crowd, and Memphis sets down his metal bowl, and you look up across the burner to see you, watching him. I can feel your eyes burning a hole in my bowl. Free sample? He gestures neatly. Come over. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. The earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy, the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire, and your skin hardens in its glare. I know you, you sleepers. Memphis says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. So we're gonna tell him a story. Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and the dark of the container, the endless cycles spent within it. Now, it seems, you tell him, like some dream that you once had, but cannot never forget. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you, and you are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually, you tail off, running out of words. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time we talk some more. He smiles, but next time you pay. He slams a heavy hand against a button on the burner side and shuts it off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time, then, sleeper. He waves at you and brings the oil of the walk. Before you turn your back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. Excuse me. That'd be like these right here, yeah? Yeah, the detail they put on this dude. He's carrying all his produce on his back. It's probably like oil or water, right? Well, one of these probably be oil and water, or is that like a? That looks like a pro, like it could be like something like a propane, like a mini propane tank. Maybe. Walk in his hand. Yeah. You walk away. As you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Okay, so energy is at full. We're at 19 cryo, 1 data. We have no more actions we can actually take. Next comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you're here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer at the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hat block, they have all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, this body, your body, will... You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Well, if you look at the enforcer, he's gonna like, and it's a gangster enforcer, like staring at him isn't gonna do you much good. If you look inside, the enforcer's probably gonna think like you're trying to like, you know, go in and do something or cut the line or whatever. But like I feel like looking at the enforcer is just gonna like incite violence. So let's look inside. You lean against the door frame and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by the green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. You lean in and see an amber light filtering through a doorway screened with plastic sheeting, beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. "Wait your turn," he growls. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway and you can catch a distant voice. "Send the next one in, Toshiro." The enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway, pushing through the plastic sheets on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in a warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the Brights Market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment, you are transfixed by the motion. "Come, sit." calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheets over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak, they blink, and then quickly regain their composure. Please, sit. They gesture to the bed, then turn to open a case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine returns an compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in the hand. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. How long you been at this station? They ask, the scanner still in the hand. He's a doctor. Why wouldn't we tell him? They nod. It's good you came to me. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying, they say without ceremony, without drama, but without empathy. S&ARP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose to prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They build in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with a stabilizer, one which Ensign ARP remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? They shift in their seat. You aren't the first sleeper I've encountered. You wait for more, but they go back to their inspection. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you're unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. So, you have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and Ensign ARP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up, as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something, anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help you. They sigh. As you see the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice, they gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside. You nod. He works for my banner factor, Yadigan. They are influential in the low end. They give me this space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. But Yadigan has connections. Smugglers from the Starward Belt, mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous. and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. Do I want to? If you're scared of me, why are you helping me? Uh, Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this worked first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face. But the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Okay, so I have to wait a few cycles for that. There's nothing else I can do. I can't. Okay, so that's all repeatable. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to rest. Let me see. What time is it? It's 2:30. Gotta get some time. I'm going to rest. Rest. I think I'm gonna use the dice to get some stuff out of the scrap, and then rest again. Well, we're gonna eat and then rest again. This time, you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment, gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions. As you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into millions of distributed nodes, they connect to you. You see the station. No, you feel the station. Like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. I want to touch it. You find a point in the station and you connect to it, pulse through it. Follow loops and paths under and around it. You touch more points than you have fingers. And then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, grasp, try to grasp them, try to touch them too. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you incessantly, as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in the corner, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second, and you feel it waiting there. The station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored. And then it's gone. I only have 3 dice? That's trash. Utter garbage. 15 cryo. I only got 19. What? What in the haberdashery? Then we sleep. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with the glittering lights, like stars reflected in a winter lake. It's clearer, crisper than before. The threads, it still pulls, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads, you see bright shapes, caches of shimmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of thread across the ring. Though these forms, they leap off into the void. You begin to understand these are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops that it seems almost impossible to parse, but you begin to try. Now, the threads connect the nodes. If we focus on the nodes and now what connects the nodes, if we focus on the threads, are we able to get to the nodes? Nodes are the points, threads connect the nodes. It's like if you focus on the destination, but you don't focus on how you got to the destination. Threads. There are more threads than you can count. You can choose one that passes nearby and approach it. As you inspect it, you understand why you instinctively chose the word thread. When you first saw them, they are not single lines, but rough, fuzzy things, woven from data strings of all kinds. The threads and nodes, passengers and puzzle boxes, one leads to another. There is so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then that incessant tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see two lines, two threads pulling in different directions as if they were tied to you. the first or the second? First. The first thread leads out, away from the station, into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something. A sphere shimmering above a strange, angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. Your eyes open. Time is short. Someone is out there tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long before they arrive. Ding! Alright, well, now we're being hunted. Awesome. Oh, and we only have 3 dice, and they're all terrible. Tutorial. The cloud. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data. But be careful, these networks are old and strange. Click the eye button at the top of the screen to toggle this view on and off. Interesting. Seems a lone connection feeds into this isolated node. Its access timestamp is 1,000 cycles ago. Data actions. Data actions allow you to extract data from the networks of the eye. They work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice to the one displayed on the right action. They work like dice action, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice to the one displayed on the action. So, I need a 1, 2. If you have a 1 or 2, a +1 or +2 modifier in the interface skill, you will be given more possible dice to match. You can use any dice that matches the dice displayed. Once unlocked, the data can be extracted. So, 1. Cool. Okay. 1 encryption key. A stream of passcodes able to unlock the station's aging maglocks. Let's see. There's a 2. Okay, so we're gonna bypass that. I'm not gonna use all of them. I'm gonna take this 3 here. Broadcasting on an open network from here, leaving them open for data extraction. Heaven's data, a cache of raw data from Heaven's hardware. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread, strung tight around you. It tethers you in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver. Its source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown, estranging, processing. We stay still. Please hold. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circled around you. It is blinding for a moment, and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. Yo, I would flip. No. No, no. Sentient protocol unraveling. No, just no. Everything about this is no. 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 What are you? The shape paces around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on. Entity, identify, origin, serial, cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. I don't understand. Stay silent. Refusal. The figure's strange head rotates. Brackets signature of and not of a tempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. The figure holds its threads, its head twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentence? Incorrect. You're an entity. All at once, the hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste. The one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. Sealed dock. An entity hides in the rotunda. You're its puppet. Hunter extends a razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Oh, we about to fight! You lash out with all your force. Not a physical strike, but a focusing, a spike-like interface, leaping out like the tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. Dang. So we just had our first fight, kicked his butt. That's what's up. Alright, we gotta eat. Let's see what's up here. Probably got like another cycle or two left on that. The market. Local knowledge, I forgot about this. We gotta do this also. So we gotta next in the morning we do one, we drop a dice here, drop a dice in the market, drop a dice for manual salvage. We'll do manual salvage. That's what we want to, and then shipbuilder assistant. Yeah, so 1, 2, and 3. That should be enough. And then for the next 2 cycles, I guess we can go. We can unlock some more, but we need make it like 2 or 3 days without eating. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wake up! Fang is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. Do I know you? He grins. Yeah, you do now. He puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it old Erland said? The eye opens for us all? Nice idea, but not always very practical. He glances back at you. We do our best, but it ain't easy. What you mean we? What you mean we? You pass together into the main hall, and it's the main walkway. Havenage. We are all one dysfunctional family. Fang puts his arm around you. No, I'm not part of the security branch, though. Don't worry, I'm with systems. I want to know what both of these are. I'm gonna assume I know what I'm gonna assume systems is what it sounds like. Systems. Think of us as an administrative association for the eye. You know, depending on who you talk to, we either emerge as a response to or a continuation of Andre Erland's original union. He smiles. Personally, I avoid the topic. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I've been seeing some unusual network activity, and, well, I know a little about you sleepers. I have a small proposition for you. He glances around. But this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare. Then, when you're settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done. He pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks off down the passage, raising a hand in farewell. This dude knows. He's like, y'all you've been doing something you ain't supposed to be doing. He's out. Nice. We got 5 cryo for that. Right. So we gotta figure out that. That's on a timer. What else was it? The market? Yes. Oh, can't do that again. Okay. Knowledge. Alright. So now we got that. New drive recovered. Board exchange, hardware. Alright, we get that in a second. Let me stop by here. Because we gotta see about these drugs that we need so we don't die. The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants. His like a cat's eyes in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark, and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands with the case open in front of him. A set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating them in the warm light. I have no idea how yet again. They trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. Do we care at this point? I mean, we're dying anyway. Like, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we need to be careful. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to the immunosuppressant in the transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by eliminating your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. Which means... what? Well, which means the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. They glance away. At least, if the stabilizer is genuine, the only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin readying the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. It's not like we have a choice. Like, we take it, we have a chance of dying. If we don't take it, we actually do die. So it's not like we really have a choice. I think you're right. I know I'm right. Just give me the vial. Stab me up. Give me the whole thing. I think you're right. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe, and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection, but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fades into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness, muffled noises like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? Yes. The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yadigan acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients. Sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you many more doses. You're going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room, and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you've been out. Sabine. Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Yeah, this music is dope. Got 15 cryo back. Dope, stable. So we're gonna come. Okay, we're gonna skip the food, right? Buy a vial of stabilizer. 100 credits for stabilizer. So we're sleeping. Oh yeah, no, we can't skip me. Okay. Systems engineer. This is risky. Let's do this one for 6. Alright, I'm gonna leave here because we need to do this. We're gonna do 1 on you. That's handled. We get food. Work. Alright. Full stomach. We're gonna go in here. And we are going to unlock some more stuff. No, because we have 2. We need to find some 2s. 3. Wait, what was that? Cipher. This gate is never used. No. Let's see, we got hey, got a 2. Bypass. Extract that data, baby. So we leave there. Let's do that. Cool. Alright. Let's see. Still have no upgrade points. Still have no upgrade points? Why do we not have any upgrade points? So we stop at Dragos since we filled that up for them, so they shouldn't have to worry about wherever it was coming for them. Right? You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across a vast dark shape, suspended below the dome. They flicker across scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's a beauty, isn't she? Drago stands to the side, focused on the hulking ship, as it is lowered into the yard. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Never disrespect what somebody finds beautiful, especially when it's something like that. Just it's similar to like when people modify their cars. Like it might be ugly and hideous to you, but they might love the thing. I should ask you, this place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for the monstrous craft. You can't help but think, what became of its crew? What happened to him? What do you mean? What do you mean? He glances at you. I managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. No, we can get stuff on credit? I want to know what happened to the ship. Credit? We may have done well, but we can't afford a down payment on this one. He pats you on the shoulder. Don't worry, we'll make it back once we chop this beauty up. You sigh, but Dragos doesn't seem to notice. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. The drone starts to crawl over the hulk, their lights emulating flashes of dented hull. Watching you, wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion. Locked inside that container, the wreck of Ensign Arp freighter lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered? Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own? A womb of your rebirth into this strange station. You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Dragos squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we're up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side. Winter Light. Let's do it. He claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few. We can make a start. A real beauty, Drago repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattering ship as the drones start cutting, and then slip out the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. One upgrade point. Oh, wow. 20 paid off, cleared the tutorial, that stuff. You completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Access your character menu via the arrow button on the top right of the screen. Drive, I'm assuming Drive is like storyline based. Something's still coming for me. What's hunting me? I'm out of dice. I'm out of everything. I can't is. So triangle. So the triangles are gonna be dice. Circles are gonna be items or yeah. Okay. Triangles. So the triangle squares are die. Circles are gonna be like data. I'm assuming types of data or nodes. Input a cipher. Okay. Yeah. A cipher. Data keys. Okay. That's that. So now we gotta. Should we just do stuff to make money? Rotunda. Ah. If we have a 5 or a 6, just skip all that. Buy some scrap. Sometimes it's probably the freighter cruiser you get to get their payload into. Big stuff goes to the shipyard. Okay. I guess. Where's the ore? Ah. Okay. So we got 12 cryo. Minus 1 scrap. Okay. So, all right. So this is how we're gonna make money off of scraps. And sell these. You know we can get more. Trusted trader. All right. So now we got. I'm gonna sleep the day off because then we're gonna come here. We come here. We do materials. We pick stuff up. We can get stuff there. I'm not gonna go to him yet. Scrapyard. Shipbreaking and stuff like slicing up those salaries, but trying to pay you fixed wage if you're up to it, so we can make more money there. You know, lines. You won't pay, but you'll find some answers. You're in clearance there. Okay. Alright. Alright, so we need to sleep wherever the heck is coming. Complete active scenes. I still got scenes active. Because we haven't gone to this dude. We had to go, Fang, that's his name. Sleeper. Fang catches your attention as you approach the Havenage building, leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come in this way. Security and all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Fang inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates, and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Fang leans on a server stack and gestures around. You like it? It's incredible. He smiles widely. I thought you'd say that. He taps a nearby server stack, which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block, speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station, A1. Is that A1? No, it's not Alpha, is it? I forget exactly what that is. The one solemn build. We've had to invent new components. repair things we never build, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the eye and think they're just seeing a concrete reality. But this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We are keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate origins. He stops. At least that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines, humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can't you? I can see it. I see it. Maybe. I don't know, maybe. It makes sense, right? You are between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light up this place like a beacon. That's what I need. You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Fang notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though. Yeah, they're tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see. Access protocols lost to time and decay. Secrets. Shed load of secrets. A boatload of secrets. A boatload of secrets, yeah. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Havenage, there is old growth. Those whose roots trace back into those bad old days. You help me dredge up the past, and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? Fang pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Fang passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift, he smiles. It's a Sholem cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate, and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the notes inside. Excuse me. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Sleeper, and I'll see you soon. You step, blinking back out into the passage. Those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. Damn, so we're about to get paid. Alright, so we have one upgrade point. I'm gonna hold off on the upgrade point for now. Since we did just unlock a drive. Oh. Autosave was 18 seconds ago. Oh, we got autosave, right? We have. Oh yes, we need to end cycle. Cycle, we go here. Do we buy scrap. We're gonna help them get stuff in, make some money back. So essentially, we spent 5. We bought scrap to build up the scrap. Built this up, so we spent 5 to gain. Yeah, I think that was worth. I think that was the right play. We still need to get at least one thing from there. Low end gate. We can buy our way into there. Yeah, but we're gonna wait on that. Wait on the food or the exchange. We got 1 scrap. We're gonna sell off this scrap. We got 2 3s. Let's play the exchange. Nice. Trusted trader. So you got the trader, trusted trader up. That's cool. So now we can help. That should improve us with these guys. We're gonna come over here for Drago. +1, so it's a 4. Should have, yeah, we go. Okay, thought so. Alright, so we're good there. Not gonna do the shipyard. We're to go here, drop the cipher in. Gate S7. Bypass here, extract that. We got a single. Alright. We got a single, so what I think I'm gonna do. Something that's safe. I can do with the 1 that's only going to cost me energy. Just yet. Ship mines cannot be built from scratch, but if you have enough salvage fragments. Oh, it's just me. To reassemble a fabricator, so shipyard salvage fragments. Scrap. Take that. Alright, so we're gonna do that, and then alright. Big stuff goes to the shipyard. The valuable stuff to the markets. They'll let you buy a few crates, but not much more. Exchange. Scrap components there. Alright. Fabulous. Oh, no, wrong. Okay. So we're gonna hold on to those. this cycle we eat. Right. Alright, so now we eat. Alright, so now we are a fan. We are a fungus fan. Alright. Alright, we got that. We'll come over here. I think we can drop the 3 on this. Be okay. Let's do it. Alright, sweet. So that's complete. Afraid it will stay docked for as many seconds as it takes to offload its whole scrap. So don't need that, unload. Get paid for that, right? I need to materials. That's complete. Alright. Worker and daughter unit assembly. Systems team is looking for new members to prove yourself a reliable tank. Supporting the welding team can practice shipbuilding spots. Horizon are hard to come by. Poor work. See you drop from the roster. Webbed to the complex systems. So your body, your job is to lay those systems in. Alright, so shipbuilding. Alright. Is this father, daughter, builders, strip? They're still there for unloading. That's that for there. Holding on to the scrap. We're still stable, so we really don't need to buy anything yet. What's going on here? Oh, Emphas. Sleeper calls out. Emphas calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me your story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his walk, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you. Cycle in and cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me your story. What kind of story? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the walk. But one of yours. He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause. The spice is rich in your nostrils, and think about the kind of story you like to tell Emphas. You look at Emphas, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. Tell a ghost story, tell him about your dreams. Dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Emphas, had dreams. Some were simple, memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorms scream or cry out at night. But in your dreams, those gray, skeletal after images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares, they were reflections of reality. Distorted, yes, but somehow true. You leaned back then, you learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That wasn't until now, until you arrived at this place. Now, your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink. And now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him that you don't know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps you reason it is just because of some side effect or particular quality of the frame you inhabited. But whatever it is a gift, and you hope to make use of it. Amphis finishes cooking and squints at little you. Squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. You are quite the storyteller. He eyes you, and you realize that he's trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Amphis passes you the meal he has cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks. A natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the empty market. But my time is done for today, and I do not want to keep you longer. So, I'll make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind his stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think a couple cycles ago. They said that across the gap in the Greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard of this? Nope. Not at all. I just got here, so why would I even know about that? Neither have I, but I trust the one who told me. Amphis begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, but I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I'm sure a storyteller like you can handle the trip. I'll prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Sure, he's a cool dude. He gives us free food once in a while. Good, booms Amphis. Then I'll wait for you to bring them. Amphis slides his walk away and straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. Dope. That'd be sick. You turn away and walk back to the main market, the rich taste of Amphis food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think. A trade that seems more than fair. Haha. Alright, so we're still stable, so we can still go through the lore of the gate. We can make enough to get the thingamabobber, the stable. We can get enough to get the drugs to be able to heal, so we don't go insane. We still have a 4 dice and a 2 dice, right? Dragos. So we're gonna go here. Cool. Save. Cut a wreckage. Lane. So we can't buy scrap, but we can help them get rid of the scrap. We're gonna do both be the same thing. Still got active scenes here. Yeah, well, 1, 2, 3. Alright. I think I'm gonna leave this where it's at here. I think yeah, we're gonna leave it here. This is a good spot. Alright. This game is like huge on storytelling, like really rich in the backstories of like everything. Like and like balancing like where to drop your dice, your rolls, like you don't get much of the upgrade for like the upgrade points. It's like so like trying to get these is good, man. Dude, this game is actually really cool. Oh, there we go, saved. Ha! Alright. Alright, well, that's that. And see you guys on the next one. Deuces.